But we'll find out.
We'll find out in about 30 seconds.
It tells us we're live.
Yep. Sweet.
Let's do a thing.
Well, I'm going to operate as though we are. G'day, guys. Welcome back to what is now episode 10 of HACT Live. Double digits. High five for HACT Live. Sorry for how loud that probably was for you just now. So welcome back. I'm Matt. This is Glenn. And we told you last episode Blair was going to be away on holidays this week. But as you can see, he's very much here in the flesh. No, Blair is in Noosa this week. So no audio issues aside from it's very loud. And we've lost the overlay stuff because we can't get his PC to work. But as Blair's avatar is telling you over here, if you want to engage with us this afternoon, do so via the embedded IRC on the website, or otherwise hit us up on the Facebook group or via Twitter at HACT_IO. We had a bit of fun writing that out backwards because everything's sort of mirrored on this video feed. If it turns out it's not reversed for you guys watching, let us know, and then I can put the regular one back up. So Glenn's going to be manning the IRC this afternoon. We spent most of last week just really getting over the two HACT event weekends back to back. But we're well rested. Some of us still resting and getting on with planning for the next HACT events. We've set an ambitious internal challenge of how do we put 6 of these things on in a school holidays. And what that means is, of course, we can't be there for those events. So how do we...
So it's not reversed for them, it seems.
So that's all right. Here's one I've prepared earlier. Turns out for you guys, it's the right way around. So instead of finding an inside-out keyboard, please tweet at us at HACT_IO. Sorry, guys. So joining us, Savo, we've got Ductor and Uj, who were both at the first HACT event back in April, if everyone is who I think they are. And Tom came back. Tom Duck came back for the event we had last weekend, and he brought his sister along with him, and she was in the 3D art stream, and Sarah took out best tweet because she liked Nate Rogers' presentation, and went and modelled her own sword afterwards. So that was cool.
Which was pretty awesome. Did you end up watching any of it?
I still haven't had a chance to. But,
well, it is recorded, so you can check it out. But it was really cool. It was like, smudge a bit of colour, another colour, another colour. We'll cut the sides off that with an eraser and touch it up, and suddenly there's this awesome-looking sword. It was really cool.
No, I did hear about it, and I will check it out. I think that was episode 7 of HACT Live. For anyone else who wants to jump on and check that out.
Just now that I'm out of the headphones, what did you mention? Have we talked about why Blair is looking so cool
I've said he's in Noosa.
Okay.
Blair's going to be a little less chatty than usual for us today.
Well, he wasn't that chatty last time, falling asleep and everything.
Amazingly, we had the best, some of the best feedback we've ever had about HACT Live. And, everyone enjoyed watching Blair fall asleep thanks to his Oculus balaclava setup.
Which maybe just ran out of oxygen in there.
I think he did a bit. I think he was all right with it. He hadn't been sleeping. So anyway, he's away in Noosa this week, getting a tan. But I think we can leave this thing up at his desk until he gets back.
Yeah, I think so. See what he says. Or tell him we've been kicked out. We found a replacement.
I like the photo I found had the sunnies up on top of his head, and he's wearing a pair here as well, which was the look he was rocking with the riffs last week, because he had the 2 pairs as well. Yep, and Uj just said, this is my first live episode. It is, and it's very cool that you've come here to join us this afternoon. And
welcome.
Welcome. And you guys are, I think term starts again this week for you guys. Unlucky, but that means new school term means the next HACT events, can't be too far away. Small silver line. Also, Chris McLaren is on the floor today. Gungahlin College is actually running an IT camp
I guess you should probably say on the floor is in this level of the building. Like, he's not unconscious. He is probably still okay. We haven't seen him for the last 5 minutes.
Yes, no, he's not out. He's not on. He's not literally out on the floor over there. He's very much engaged with the program they're running out there. Tonight they're running some software challenges and stuff. I haven't heard too much more detail. I do know they're ordering crust though, so see if we can't get out there and grab some food. Hey, Jason, who we've mentioned a few times before, is is a videographer that works up here on this floor, being level 5, and he lets us borrow his tripod and lighting and stuff to put these shows on. Jace, do you want to be on the show today?
Be on the other side of the camera.
Oh, you could audition for Blair's spot. Come on down. Do you want to show him the full vid?
Yeah.
There it is. Grab Blair's chair.
Sorry, Blair, you're out.
He's out. We've got a new co-founder now.
Done.
Tough break.
Replaced.
Yep. So everyone, this is Jason. So I was mentioning Jason's a videographer. If you saw the original HACT video after the first event back in April, all this dude's handiwork in like a 2-day turnaround. So one thing we were talking about this morning was those VR movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of the kids at the event last week, VR, super popular. Yeah, do you want to tell them about this VR movie thing? We might have to run a stream for these.
Yeah, if we could find some images for them. But basically, Oculus Rift's not too far from coming out. And with that,
one next year.
Yep, soon.
And with that, all us videographers have to work out how to actually make movies with it. If you can imagine that leads to a whole raft of problems. If you've got this camera that films in this 360-degrry arc, you've got to have all the action happening around it. So, you know, your actors are going to be all around this cylinder. And when you experience the movie, you're actually going to be inside and able to look around a 360-degree space.
Which is going to be kind of hard for you filmmaker guys when you're like, where can I stand? They're going to see me.
Yeah, no, it totally is. And how are you going to move it without being seen? And
drones.
A guy inside of the cylinder.
Yeah, that's right.
Wandering around.
Yeah. So the directors have to be able to fit inside the drone carrying the cameras, as does the rest of the film crew, I guess.
Well,
yeah.
It works for R2D2, so...
Yeah.
I can almost see a scenario where it almost goes back to like the old days of plays. So you act out a play around the camera, so it's all actors again. You haven't got, you know, the film crews just right, you know, in front of them, like manipulating lights and that sort of thing.
That would be very cool.
You know, the just thinking about doing a horror movie or a suspense movie or a shootout or just
you had to bring up horror movies. Like, I'm the biggest chicken when it comes to anything horror movies. It's the music that always gets me, that creeping violin chord bit. But no, horror is going to enter into a golden time, I think, with all things virtual reality. And Uj just reminded me, you might remember Glenn on the Facebook group, he'd said he was working on a Oculus project for young ICT explorers.
Yeah.
He's just mentioned that again. So he's still working on it. So Uj, tell us how that's going, because I remember you were asking some programming questions. I think it was about the y-axis location of a character. It's falling through the floor.
Rotate slightly.
Yeah.
Like us.
Us?
Yeah. I'm feeling all trapped on the edge.
I take up a lot. I take up a lot of space. There
we go.
Production
values.
Well,
yes.
So just tell us how that's going. Now, you're with the Young ICT Explorers, which is a program run by NICTA's Digital Careers Office. And that's Katja runs the show down here in the ACT, I think, the rest of the team. Those guys came on board as partners for the first HACT event back in April. So everything we're talking about keeps seemingly coming full circle to that event. So, well, this is the mini reunion episode, I guess. But VR movies sound pretty cool. What is also very cool is one of the products out of the weekend just gone is a 3D printed object, which is actually being entered into some student innovation competitions. You guys might remember, it was just a funny coincidence that Will joined us on the program in his school holidays, came and talked about his experience with some coding, and he gave us some souvenirs with those
little
Lego block
dinosaur
things. Yeah, something Ixels was what they were called. I can't remember right now. Anyway, at the weekend, he came up with this cool device to remove blood testing strips from readers for people with diabetes
and store them.
Yeah, because teachers don't like handling that stuff. So you spin the wheel and kind of grips the strip and pulls it out. Anyway, that's being submitted in a competition. I can't remember what the name of that comp is. Liz could tell me though. That's the one. The Little Big Ideas competition. So as soon as we find out any more info, if there's some sort of public voting component, we'll set you guys on them, and we'll get Will some exposure for that. And Ooge just told us that he's all good with his project and the program's coming along well. Tell us about the Young ICT Explorers program too. I mean, you've done, that's related to the end. No, it's not. I was thinking of the National Computer Summer School, which is a different program.
Different thing again.
You've done that one, right?
Yeah, that's really cool. So it's, I want to say University of Sydney partners or runs or owns it, but it's for, I think, only years 11 and 12 or going into years 11 and 12. And it's, when I did it back in 2005, it was I think about a week, maybe just shy of a week. And these days, I think it's more like 2 weeks. But it's up at University of Sydney. You stay on campus, do some like cool lecture-y things, which are actually like really interesting, despite what you might think when we say lecture. And so when I did it, we were doing Python. We built a search engine basically. And then outside of the actual learning class parts, there's heaps of like activities, team building stuff. We built like this giant newspaper towers, and I'm sure we did other things. All I remember is getting up way too early for my liking. And at that time of my life, not being a coffee drinker, that was painful. But it was cool.
Nice.
So I would recommend you check that out. I want to say it's ncss.edu.au. So,
but the program's still running, which is very cool. It was just
20-year anniversary, I think, this year. So ages.
So Ooge has also told us how he spent some of his school holidays. Now, I heard about an event happening in Woden last week that had 3D printing and had the Australian 3D Manufacturers Association involved, so I suspect this is the same one. Ooge was telling us that he went to Woden and was instructing children ages 5 to 15 in 3D printing. I suspect that was the same event. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Blair was trying to get us to take a office excursion down to Woden to check it out, but he didn't win because we had some work we had to get done. So unlucky Blair, unlucky us.
Fair to say he may have been in holiday mode on that Friday when he heard the event was on and wanted
just
to get
a little bit.
That's right. Now, you guys might also remember Jason from the first event, because not only was he doing the filming and video stuff, he was helping you guys crafting your pitch videos for that event. One thing we've kicked around with Jason was brainstorming ideas for future events about how you might run a film stream. And that's not something we've sort of canvassed with these guys. I mean, we've talked a bit about it as a concept, but for that HACT one, we were talking about like a 2-hour mini project for teams to break up into. I thought it was a cool idea. It was sort of, we got them in front of like a green screen doing some effects. It's like you do 3 shots and then cut it all back together and edit it.
Yeah, just like looking at some green screen effects or practical effects, special effects. So like getting people to move really fast or disappear or shrink, or maybe they're suddenly missing their head or missing an arm or stuff like that. Just really easy stuff you can do in a couple of hours. And like this stuff you can like then use on your Vines or your YouTube videos.
Nice.
So Ooge has just had to disappear. So if you catch up with us on the recording later, bye. And if not, we'll see you next week.
That's it. Now, when did you first start getting into videography? When did all of this start?
I liked it at school. So like I'm someone else who will probably tell you that I would love something like this to have been done when I was at school, because there wasn't really anyone to learn this from.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really the internet either, because I'm old. So I just begged my dad to bring home the office camera, and started messing around like that.
There.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah. So many people we talk to about the HACT stuff and what the event's about. It's a common thread of, I wish that had been happening when I was that age. Yes, so we're all old in that, in that respect. That's okay.
Except for Blair.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. His PC's having a bad time. Every time we come in here, it needs to be recovered, and it's blue screening. And
I tried restarting it today for the hope that, well, one, I could get past this password, and two, we could figure out how to set the stream up on it. But yeah, it's not even starting up. So it wasn't me, Blair. I'm sorry, but it was broken when I got here. And that's why we don't have our fancy little top corner Twitter logo, which I'm going to say here, but it's probably actually over here.
No, it's usually above you.
Really? You should have just printed it out and just sticky taped it.
Well, that's sort of what we put on Blair there.
Oh, right.
We've got all of the digital effects.
Thank you.
Just that's some really high-tech special effects there.
Sold it with the sound effects.
I thought so.
Wear it as a lapel somehow.
Branding's very important.
Yeah.
Professionalism, branding, audio fidelity are the things we stand for.
Yeah, we're running at 96 kbs audio today.
A little bit lower.
YouTube's complaining that we're not using 128. Don't know how
we
to
don't
make
know
that
how
happen.
to turn that
So that's probably why we sound a little bit terrible today.
Yeah, we usually sound great. And we start on time. All right.
Always on time.
It's just caught up.
That actually looks really cool.
It almost looks like the Batman. Change the scene.
I love the automatopoeia in those campy 70s Batman flicks. Of
Bam.
Pow, bam. Like that was missing from the latest Batman movies.
I am
Some
Batman.
gritty scene. He punches Joker. Pow.
We have a look on YouTube. Someone's probably done the edit for that.
That is
Like,
true.
redone the
I
scene.
hope
Check
so.
that out.
Yeah.
If not, that could be a competition we run this week. We're talking about film with Jason. It's the Batman mashup competition.
Fantastic.
Please submit your videos, and sincerest apologies to whomever owns the trademark for Batman these days.
Speaking of submitting videos, actually, we sent out an email. We did send that out, right?
Yep.
This afternoon about the awards night this weekend. And in that email, Matt should have included a part asking that if your pitch video that you submitted to someone that wasn't me isn't up on the YouTube yet, can you let us know so that we can get you there and, vote on your stuff so you can win prizes and money? Because I think we only had like 13
videos, and
That's pretty good.
it's good, but I feel like there were a lot
like
more.
you could do more?
I reckon
I think
there's
there
at least
were
25 vids. We had 50 students there at the weekend, and everyone's pretty G'd up to win some cold hard cash. So
Yeah, if
Chase
you submitted that to one of the other mentors, letting us know who that was would be pretty cool too.
No excuse, guys. You don't have to bother your dad to borrow your video camera. Everyone's got a video camera these days. You need to freaking make a video.
I wonder, did Blair have a bunch on his computer?
Who knows?
If you gave it to Blair, let us know and probably find your backup copy, because
we will make
not sure we can get them off Blair's computer.
that would explain why I haven't seen any VR videos on the list yet. We'll call Blair and chase that stuff up, and he can tell us by what magic and covenants and deals with supernatural beings we need to enter into to get his PC to turn back on again. And we'll try and put those up. Yes. No,
Just
thank you
need more
for
swag.
more swag.
Yep.
Yep. He is the swag king. I have it on good authority. I don't know if we asked. So Jace was talking about origins.
Origin stories.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
not Batman Origins.
I was like, Origin, like the gaming platform? Origin, like, I'm pretty sure that's the name of a sport thing I know nothing about.
Yeah. No, I'm going to
Or-
ask you about NRL State of Origin.
Okay. I know there's a ball.
Good.
I assume you kick it or run with it. Or
Yes.
maybe throw it.
Sometimes.
You move the ball in some way. There we go.
Yeah. You
Nailed it.
outsport the other team.
Need Blair's Sonnies.
No, he needs both pairs. No, Origins. We would web dev and security and stuff. How did that all come about? You're a script kiddie on IRC back in the day.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. So I guess I've been on computers since I was the tiniest person I can remember. It used to be a lot of playing around. I remember the first time I got my own computer, it had like some version of BASIC on it, but no matter how hard I tried to get this thing to run, it just wouldn't. So I'd like to say that's where my programming started, but it didn't. Then a few years later, when I moved down to the snow, got another new computer, and this one actually let me do things. And so I was hanging out on IRC, which is kind of like a chat room, I guess.
That's what we're using to chat on this now.
Yeah, welcome to how I used to learn about things like this. So I'd hang out on that and kind of read coding sites about HTML and websites and ask questions, and a lot of the time get the answer I wanted, and almost as much of the time get sent to places that you really don't want to be sent to on the internet when you're 10 years old. So yeah, it was hit and miss. But I learned a lot of things by being told to Google it and learn by myself, which was a good lesson in itself. And yeah, security stuff at the same time. So I remember, I think it was my uncle gave me a disc of like hacking tools. And so I would like play around with this disc, trying to figure out how all these tools work. And I think at the most often time, it was once every second day, I would be completely reformatting my computer and starting fresh because I'd broken everything on it. And that happened for many months on end. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, IRC used to write, so there's a client called MIRC, which was a IRC client, funnily enough, but it had a scripting component to it. And so I did a lot of stuff there. We had a little group of people and we'd write these scripts to like, basically you go into a channel and get ops, which if you see on the chat there is the little @ symbol, means you have power. And then if these channels weren't registered, we'd like take the ops away from the actual owner and like kick them out and ban them. And we had cool scripts to do it all for us. And then we had like detection. So if a body wanted into a channel that was banned, it would like auto invite them and stuff. And yeah, but ethical hacking is a very different story. And that's where you've got permission to break the things that you're breaking. And permission is important. So don't do what I did when I was younger, is the moral to this story. And yeah, that's sort of where I got started.
Very cool.
And then I just lived on the internet since.
And I remember there was a website you were using at HACT the other weekend that has security testing and ethical hacking projects for people to do.
It's called hackthisSite.org, I think.
Yep.
And it's got a whole pile of different challenges, from basic ones, which are sort of, they're dumbed down a bit so you can actually solve them really easily without needing deep knowledge. But it goes up to realistic missions that are actually like proper security flaws in, I'd say, real applications. They're probably written for each level, but they're still real code, real bugs. And I was actually going through the basic ones with Hannah in web dev, and she was like basically solving all these little things, figuring out how to get the password to get to the next level. And she seemed to really like that. So that was pretty cool. In the future, I'd like to run a stream or a part of a stream doing that kind of thing, teaching the ethics as well as the hacking.
Well, we are called HACT
security
at the end of the day.
This is true.
So Tom's just said awesome, and I'm tracing back 30 seconds ago. I think it was when you were just talking about hackthisSite.org.
It does sound pretty fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's actually like learning while you're playing, unlike the other thing that seems to have been taking up a few hours of office time here, which is agar.io.
Agario, yeah. Well, thank you to the students at the InHact weekend for putting us onto that. I've lost. Yeah,
Is that
as
game
Glenn
you
said.
guys have been playing?
Yeah, the bubble thing.
Yeah, they have been. They've been every time I walk past them.
Not every time. Matt and I had a game of Dota at the end of the day the other day. Trying to run it on this laptop with a really bad mouse and no mouse buttons aside from the normal click, and don't recommend. Gaming PC is where it's at.
Yeah, I was very rusty.
I'm gonna go pull my charger over here so we don't run out of power midstream.
Okay, good idea. And I'm going to think of the next thing to talk about. Sorry, I'll endeavour to stop putting things down by that microphone, I think. So, awards events this Saturday at 3 p.m. at the Inspire Centre. We've got 8 award categories that students are going for from the last event. So it's your best website, best game, best virtual reality project, best 3D artwork, best 3D print, most innovative project, best pitch video, and the major winner. So pretty similar categories to the event back in April. And yeah, as Glenn said, we need to get some more videos.
It lives.
Your PC looks a bit happier now. It gets hungry as well. So yeah, 13 videos. I suspect there's more like 25 out there. So to emphasize it again, need to hear about that.
So Dustel says that he's used it, so that's pretty cool. I'm assuming that's hacked this side.
Yep.
Yeah, how do you find it? Have you gotten very far in the levels and stuff? And do you like it? And is it the kind of thing you think would work? Probably not just that, but those style of like little missions and stuff as a stream or a little maybe like couple of hour breakout side stream at one of the HACT events. Let me know.
Well, it's a good question. I mean, we've got a lot of mentors we bring along to the events have a lot of really deep domain expertise. I mean, the mentors have a great time teaching you guys the real basics at the event, but you know they could take you any direction that you want to go. So we may even have a separate HACT event for even more specialist sort of streams or something like that.
Yeah, I guess one thing that makes a lot of security and penetration testing stuff hard is to do it well, you need to sort of get into the mind of the developer that wrote the program you're trying to break.
Yep.
And one of the really important things in doing that is knowing how the developer would have coded it. So it's like, without those basic understandings of like how to write a web page or the SQL that queries the database, it's a lot harder to figure out how you would then break it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were going to do that, we'd probably need either that base knowledge or some way to kind of give you the cliff notes and quickly get you up on like, this is what SQL is, this is how it's constructed, these are common sorts of ways that it can be broken, and now here's a little thing that you can actually break it on and solve it that way, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, there's sort of make, as ever, we make these things up as we go along. And a big thing to think about is for the students who have come through to HACT. I mean, if you particularly like the stream that you did the first time, don't really want to be doing another stream, but we haven't really been offering any like 201 type subjects or anything like that. I guess that was meant to be the place of the open stream, but the open stream doesn't really work. Well, it didn't work at the last event, which I think was partly pricing for what's really a 3-day hackathon for the open stream. one idea we were kicking around today was each school holidays we have the HACT style event for students new to tech wanting to get into it. And then once a year we build up into a really big Australian schools hackathon type event where it's like the open stream, but it's open to students from anywhere in the country, and they can upload their projects via this platform that we're building. And then for cities that we haven't been operating in yet, they might still have, well, they likely still will have students that have been learning on their own. This is at least a way for them to be connecting with other students nearby without waiting for us to have to come in and put a specific HACT event. Could make it easy for people to find us and connect with the community that way as well. But in the meanwhile, we've been working to connect with other regional centres around Canberra for putting on future HACT events. So it's looking good for Bega, Wollongong, and we've had good intros to people in Wagga and Cooma. Two sides to it. We want to find really there's enough mentors in those areas to sustain putting a HACT event on, and that we can get enough students along. Sort of, I imagine we would.
Yeah, so, and it could be like, it doesn't have to be the exact format we've run. It could be a smaller town and it may only run one or two streams across the weekend.
Yep.
So that'll make it easier to kind of scale out too.
Yeah, I think that's going to be important. And I mean, we'd kicked it around as a separate stream idea, but suppose there were students in another town that wanted to participate in game. We can do a virtual seat for those streams in cities where they're not offering that particular stream.
Yeah, it would be very cool to be able to do that kind of streaming thing. We'd need better internet than we had at Crapper though. That was not as ideal as we were hoping.
Yeah. Bandwidth is
hard.
This is a thirsty business, this one.
Yeah,
and
like this is kind of struggling a little bit.
The rest of us know when you guys are doing this. The rest of us on the floor using internet for other purposes.
Running
we
their
have
own businesses.
been looking into other network providers.
I think because of that requirement, HACT events will need to be happening out of educational institutions because those guys are usually on ARNet, who probably offer they're the best ISP in the country for that sort of thing.
Unfortunately, we can't get on it unless we're an educational institution.
Yep, which I suppose we're not, or at least the people we're a member of. So it makes it harder.
Yeah, we'll get there. We run a few more events, we get some more influence, and then we just say, like, why don't you want to help support?
Yeah, we'll get all the students that are hacked event to tweet at someone.
And just as like a basic idea, so your home ADSL1 connection goes to about 8 megasecond, ADSL2 goes to 24, we might be on like 100 here. ARNet offers 1 gig a second as a minimum, and then it's like, or you could have 10 gig a second.
10 gig.
And it's just like, yes, I would like 10 gig a second.
Yeah, I don't think we'd want to stream at that sort of 4K resolution.
We could have multiple angles.
Stream VR.
Yeah.
Virtual reality screen.
We just put it on the table here and you
true.
can see everything.
Everyone can see all the crazy stuff that's going on right behind them that they can't see right now.
How?
So long as no one zooms in on the bags under my eyes, I can sign off on the 4K thing.
How much? So say you do a 1080 stream, takes a fair chunk. How many 1080s would it take to VR?
I don't know. They've been messing around with it. They said you don't need to do high definition with VR because it's nice if you do. But it's so immersive. The resolution doesn't affect you as much as if you're just watching a computer screen.
Okay.
So they tend not to do it because it is possible to do high definition virtual reality.
Yeah, like 4K,
sorry,
8K.
3D. Yeah, high definition 3-dimensional virtual reality. Wow.
That would be cool.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think Australia has the bandwidth for that.
Well, we say ridiculous, but 10 years from now, it's going to be pretty mainstream. I would expect.
Because like it would be really easy to do our HACT Live 24/7 with just a 360 camera on this table here, and you can see the whiteboard that you guys never get to see over there, or
It's for the best.
that really cool corner of white paint over here.
All the words we're not allowed to.
All the 20 lighting and crew assembled behind a camera.
Yeah.
Well, everyone will get, like, you know, we're always saying hi Mitch or hi Jace or to everyone who works around here, so you guys actually get to see who we're talking about.
Well, we'd like them to think that there are people back there.
There are, like, not right now, but usually.
Sometimes.
It'd be great if it was a drone that you could actually control as well. Like you could actually control it around like your car.
I feel like
Live plays drones.
I feel like Blair would take it over and crash it into me. Just
hover it really close to you.
yeah.
With his face
with the
printed out on
microphone, with the speaker attached. What are you doing, Matt? Yeah, that would be fun. But no, bandwidth is a challenge. So, post this Griffin program, we might need to think about future locations and internet requirements and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Find somewhere cool to set up office. Not that this isn't cool.
Yeah, no,
Just take the floor below. We'll kick out the government people and
well, this building's earmarked, like I reckon it's demolished within the next 2-3 years. Like a lot of the contracts that have been expiring on the other floors, they've been moving out into other buildings and stuff. So we'll get to run them up on the. No, we won't.
Make holes in the floor and fire poles all the way down.
Fire escape down to the first floor would be rad.
so good. Just accidentally Googleplex this place. Slides down, and for safety reasons, you need to be able to get out quickly.
Great. You're finally getting the roof.
One day. We're coming for you.
Yeah, I know someone said you can get up to the roof. I know it.
Oh, you can. I've seen the guys. This guy's like walking around on the roof.
Who was it? Did you corner him and
The
ask
roof
him
guy.
how? Oh.
I threw 2 panes of glass. I couldn't really couldn't sign it.
Are there handles on these things?
There's ladders just outside this window here. But no, I'm convinced there's an internal staircase that will take you up.
How long have you worked here for?
18 months. No,
Haven't found it
not
yet.
18 months. November. Feels like 18 months. 8 months. Near 8 months now. It's gone by pretty quickly. What else is going on? Oh, we sent a survey out to the parents of the students from our event last weekend as well. And
That being your guys' parents, probably. The parents of the students. You're so formal, Matt.
I know.
Don't know who's
I
watching.
don't mean to be. No, it's just you in your working life, you go from university, which ingrains formal report writing. You go into business government roles that enforces the same thing, and you're always running an internal filter on your words, and you find it very hard to speak in a conversational tone, which I'm not doing right now. I don't know why I'm sitting in the middle. I think I should move.
And then you're like, wait, that's no fun.
No, it's not.
I'm just gonna be me again.
Yeah, I'll
We will do
get
it.
in touch
We
with
can save
myself.
you.
Well, I'm thinking if I'm dragging it, I could shift off to the side and let someone else spearhead this beast. I would be okay with that. Jace, you're now anchoring this thing
Well.
every Wednesday, 4 till 5.
At least we'll have better production quality.
It'll all be production quality, but no content. Beautiful backdrop and expertly lit
Makeup.
Yeah,
Don't have to rely
More
on Blair.
yeah. Totally forgot the script.
It'll be fine.
Oh, we never have one. Like, this is as far as the planning goes.
And that planning happens generally in the last 30 seconds or so before we press go live.
No, it happens in the first 2
Yes.
minutes of being late for the show.
Oh, also true.
Buy milk. Eggs.
Oh, that's why that list is so
Find
weird.
out why Blair isn't here.
Now, yeah, we just assume it was at Musa. So parents giving us feedback from the last event. So far, so good, it seems.
Nope. They
No,
can't
it's not
see
good.
him. Oh,
What did you do?
Blair went to sleep.
I lean it into the collar. He looks more hunched over than me now.
Oh my
Oh
god!
have you done
God,
to
you've
Blair?
killed him. Sorry, mate.
Blair, no.
What else happened in tech news this week? Saw some articles coming around about some driverless cars being hacked into and disabled.
Yes.
How did that happen? Have you read this?
I have not actually read the article.
Well, that's all right because we can guess what happened.
All right. Well, you guess.
I read a very superficial report. Oh, it's probably better if you actually read the report rather than me guessing through it.
No, you guess first, and we'll find out.
I think they hacked in through the, I think it was the entertainment system, and they managed to reach out to the rest of the car through that.
Okay.
I have heard that before at a theoretical level, and the security community was questioning why would you connect your entertainment system or your Bluetooth key locking stuff to the thing that drives your car. Not a good idea. Keep these things really isolated because this will happen.
Well, for me, if I was taking a hard corner and fishtailing and stuff, I would want like a really cool soundtrack to kick in the background. That's why I would link them up. But I think it's going to be interesting if people start blaming tickets for red lights on the car itself driving. Like, who gets a ticket if that happens? Is it the operator, which is the AI that drives the vehicle, in which case is Google or Uber going to be paying it? Or does the owner of the car take responsibility?
It would have to be the owner of the car.
Yep. Or they'll be asked to pay for it, but they'll say, oh, I wasn't driving.
That's true.
Just like when your relatives borrow your car and rack up parking tickets.
How often do you think that'll happen, though?
I don't know.
I don't see it happening all that much. I think the car's going to be a whole lot better. Well, obviously, the car's going to be a whole lot better at human than working out where the different speed limits are.
I expect so. But what happens if through some freak accident or something, or an impending freak accident, and the car knows that there are X number of lives in car A and fewer lives in car B? Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Group A or Group B?
Yeah, pretty much. Or if they're about to have a head-on, and there's a large tree off to the left, like which one does it slam into the tree, etc.
Tree of the car. The tree over the
other. Well, I mean, if the two cars were about to hit into each other and only one could pull away, and presumably it's AI controlling both, which one gets veered into the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah. That took a turn.
So they've got an interesting snippet from this guy. Apparently it was on a freeway going at about 70 miles an hour.
That's about 120.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick.
And I think it was a setup test by the looks of it, but that still means it happened. But yeah, he was saying, I was driving 70 miles per hour on the edge of downtown St. Louis when the exploit began to take hold, in a sly reference to Hunter S. Thompson, who you may or may not know about, and if you don't, I'm going to say wait till you're 16 or older to go look it up, probably.
Yeah, he wrote some pretty adult
books
topics
and a movie.
Yep.
So, though I hadn't touched the dashboard, the vents in the Jeep Cherokee started blasting cold air at the maximum setting, chilling the sweat on my back through the in-seat climate control system. Next, the radio switched to the local hip-hop station and began blaring Skilo at full volume. I spun the control knob left and hit the power button to no avail. Then the windshield wipers turned on and wiper fluid blurred the glass. So clearly this hacker dude was having some fun, because not that dangerous yet. But the fact that he could do all that remotely is kind of terrifying.
Yeah, that's something. So anyway, let's talk of
through the
AI
and
driverless cars.
So
let's run a AI/robotics stream at some point, or partner with someone who can run those things.
Well, I think that'd be a good stream, actually. So you got 2 hours to hack into a car, and then we get Matt to drive at 70 kilometers an hour through Canberra.
70 miles.
Oh, miles.
Yep.
Holy smokes.
Where in Canberra could I get a car up to 120 Ks before I hit a roundabout?
Maybe on the roundabout.
Yeah.
Perpetual motion.
And we get to see if we can, take you out.
Good.
Or at least change the station on the radio.
Yeah. Well, these guys have to listen to our Spotify playlists anyway. I don't think they'd mind.
We'll just slip a Rickroll in there.
That's right.
I hear these cars, though, have a big button, like a big red stop button. you can hit, and it just cancels the car out. Which
Is
after
it like
reading this,
a physical kind of a stop button though?
I believe
Like it will
If it
separate
was
the
electronic,
electronics, or
couldn't
does it
you
just send a
override
stop
that?
command?
That's a good point.
So when I hack in and change
Right.
your big red stop button
Or
to
does
the
it
go
change the
faster
channel of the
button,
station or something?
Well, now you've asked it, I can guarantee, speaking of these VR horror films, someone smashing on a stop button on a car
just goes faster.
very soon. Yeah, that's right.
Don't press the red button. What, this red button? Don't press it.
Or the movie Speed 8 is they have to hack into the bus to get the speed of the bus up to keep it between 55 and 70 miles or whatever it was supposed to be. So Ductor said, no, Blair. He's all right.
Yeah.
He's back. He's cool.
He forgot how to wear sunglasses, but he'll be fine.
He's wearing around his neck.
His nose looking glorious.
Yeah, you can only just see it on stream, I think, but he's got this great mustache that Liz added, which is all twirly and stuff. I don't know, maybe Blair should grow a twirly mustache.
He can't. You could.
This is true. I certainly couldn't do it.
Well, the mo's the hardest part, I think. Who else have we been connecting with this week? I want to say Janine B from University of Southern Queensland.
Yeah, who's founder of the Tech Girls movement, which I want to say it was last year, and you probably saw me share this on the Facebook page, put out a book and a movement called Tech Girls Are Superheroes. And basically she made this with, well, a whole bunch of female role models that she's worked with or knows personally that are in the STEM fields, so science, technology, engineering, and math. And each one of them has, basically they're a different superhero based on their characteristics. And it's sort of to show that, hey, these things are actually kind of cool, and like don't buy into the stereotypes of like a little nerdy, geeky Coke bottle glasses dude in the back corner of his mum's basement. Like, you can actually do some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, that was cool. Get to talk to her at some stage. I want to say she was overseas within the last week, like in Finland. Oh yeah, and she did a TEDx talk like the other day, which is really cool.
Yeah, nice.
And so I should share that link actually.
Yep.
It's pretty interesting.
Yep, we can do that. So yeah, as I said, we're in oh wait, did I say to you guys on the stream or was somebody else before?
I think it was on stream.
We're in a relationship building mode at the moment, gearing up for the next event. So we're going to be finding a whole heap of venues, a whole heap of event leads and mentors, and connecting with teachers and educators to help get the word out to students like you guys that these events are coming up.
And of course, like talking to new people to get VIP streaming, or probably people we already know, but making sure they're available because they went pretty well last time.
Yeah, they were great. So we'll need to do more of those as well. And all the guys who did the VIP streams had a good time, and we'll come back. So I think we can keep building up that cohort as well. And we can do the same for some film stuff as well. Well, Annette, who did the VIP stream, did work on Great Gatsby. We'll have to get her to talk to Baz and get him to do a VIP stream for us.
Nice.
All right.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'll be watching that.
Yeah, that's it. And now that we're through this events cycle, we're throwing Glenn back into code tech stuff. So we'll need to figure out a cool way to start bringing people into what we're working on for that.
Yeah, doing some form of maybe not live streaming so often if it impacts everyone's internet so much.
It does.
We'll figure something cool out. Screenshots. You can see what I'm up to every 5 minutes. Oh look, it's still a code editor. Wow, so exciting, Glenn.
It's still a code editor, but you seem to keep losing bits of code.
Why is it going down?
And you're still looking at Scala and...
Yep, so looking at
Relational
Scala, relational database instead of NoSQL. It's interesting, actually. So I was going away from Scalatra to a different library called Spray. So this is the part that basically you build the API in that allows the website to talk to the backend. And in my research, I've pretty much come full circle back to Scalatra is probably going to be the easiest and best way to go about this. And I've very slowly got my new laptop set up with my dev environment. It's like every time I think I'm there and I go to start on it, it's like, oh, this thing's not installed. And it's like, all right, install that. Oh, this isn't configured properly. Right, copy that over from my old computer. So it's a bit stoppy and starty.
And Glenn's asked me how would I like to learn some Scala. So why not?
Yep.
You know.
Matt will be our offhand dev. And then I will
I'm
go
down.
on holidays.
I'm
and
down.
he will be our pro dev.
And Blair will be gone. And it'll be us, like as in you guys watching and me on a stream. I'll be able to talk about all of the things, but I'll just have to make sure I'm more conversational by then.
Hey, Matt over here. How are you doing? Well, this Matt.
Splendidly. So there you go. That is quite literally everything I had on my list of things to talk about for today.
Well, we covered the list.
Yeah, so I'm up for an early mark. Early mark, you're the anchor now. What do you think?
Oh, well, I guess, yeah, it's it for tonight's version of, I don't know what I'm talking about. I thought I was going somewhere.
You're off to such a good start.
Yeah, I know.
This is why you got into the videography bit. just wear the mask.
Wear mask.
Ah,
Chuff, chuff, chuff.
Put some VR goggles on, and it'll be like you never left. Anyways, I'm looking at the video feed. The cutout looks awesome. But anyway, I don't think we'll run that Batman competition somehow.
Yeah, maybe not.
We haven't got that much budget.
We'll
for
talk to the
stuff.
lawyers.
We'll have to find some first.
Good point.
But if you have any tech questions or anything you get stuck on during the week, please let us know on Facebook and Twitter. And we also monitor the IRC. If you ever want to ask a question there as well, we can do the same thing.
Yeah. Good Blair. Oh, don't pat him too much.
No, he
back, Blair.
slips through. Put the sunnies back on.
stranger just hoppers there.
Look, we're looking in venues and the like for the next holiday cycles as well. So when we get some more news on that for you, we'll let you know about it. But otherwise, next week we'll talk about the winners of the last event. I reckon we could like show some snippets from their pitch videos or something like that. But
Is Blair back next week?
Blair is back next week as
Okay,
well.
good.
If you're into that sort of thing.
I don't know that this Blair can get us stream running.
Well, he said we wouldn't be able to get it.
So
Right?
yes.
Here we are.
Done.
Yep.
Blair is committed to doing all of the work for the next week.
Well, we're both going to go on holiday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
It's
So
very
it'll be
agreeable.
Jason Blair in the hot seat.
Blair is so agreeable. This is great. We need this Blair.
But anyways, we will we asked on the Facebook group about rejigging the stream times now that school session's back on.
We
right?
did. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but if you didn't, go look. Basically, we were saying that Saturdays are pretty hard to keep up with, mostly because we want Matt to actually leave the office and go home for once. And if he's got an excuse to come in on a Saturday because he has to stream, that's not going to happen. So thinking about killing the Saturdays and maybe doing... So what were the options? Oh, it was really open. Which day of the week would you like if we were to run this 4 p.m. stream? And I think currently there was maybe one on Tuesday, 1 or 2 for Monday, and maybe 1 or 2 for Friday.
Yep.
So I think a theme that was starting to form there was like at the start of the week to talk about what you're going to do, or at the end of the week to like summarize everything that's happened.
Okay.
So maybe one of them will work. Let us know.
Yeah, I reckon Monday or Thursday, personally.
That's true.
But no, we'll wait and see what you guys have to say about your preferences. I'm keen to, I think we've practiced enough of these things to start opening HACT Live up to more public-facing channel as well.
Well, I did paste it to the public Facebook
Oh, really?
and Twitter today.
Oh, hello everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
But we can be more consistent about it. Maybe unhide this archive so they can see it to our YouTube channel.
Anyway, things for us to muck around with internally. Anyway, we'll see you all the next time we see you. I guess we'll rejig the times. And
Doctor votes 3 for Fry. There's 2 votes for over 9,000 apparently. I'm not sure how we can do over 9,000 streams in a week, but we will try. I hear Matt committing.
if they go for half a second each.
Real stutter effect. Well, maybe that's how we do Hacked Live 24/7. It's just like that
Series
stutter
of
effect of
episodes.
single episodes.
We reckon Vine videos drag on for too long. 7 seconds is way too
6
much.
seconds.
6 seconds. Feels like 7. Like
Roy
snores,
has
Phil. Like let's get that to half a
40.
second.
37 or 47 vines from the last event, I think.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which I downloaded all of them.
it was on a Roy page.
No, Matt. No. And this is when we say bye before Matt makes terrible jokes again. And Doctor has just said 24/7. I want it to.
Yeah, me
but
too.
We need
Me too.
the internet, I think.
Yeah. Well, we need to coexist with the other businesses up
Yeah.
here on level 5.
Otherwise, they'll kick us out.
Through a window.
We'll get to the roof.
Yeah, we'll see you up there.
All right. Catch you guys. We're not doing Saturday?
Probably not.
No.
No.
Catch you guys on Wednesday. And bye from Blair.
Yeah, enjoy Noosa.
And how do I stop it?
Oh, Blair.